Hey everybody, welcome to my channel Oracle Rising. My name is Robin. Hey, thanks so much for being here, guys. So in this channel and on my other one, I have a tarot card reading channel. It's called Aries Fire Tarot. I use this term divine and perfect timing with frequency. Okay, so I wanted to talk about what that is and what that means for you on your journey of manifestation. And when I talk about manifestation and the law of attraction, I'm not just talking about money. This is going to be your ideal mindset, your fitness level, your partner, so you can manifest. You are manifesting your entire life. But I say divine and perfect timing because the universe delivers things to you when it's ready and when the universe assesses you as being ready for it. So some people call divine and perfect timing God's waiting room. So there is going to be a period of time between when you plant the seeds and when you can reap the harvest, so I wanted to talk about this a little bit with you guys and explain how this works. You really must understand that the universe is working for you, not against you. And it's important to understand that sometimes you don't get what you want, you get what you need. Okay? There's a phrase that I use also, and it's called God's rejection is your protection. So if you really, and I find this is more particularly important when it comes to people. If there was somebody that you were really interested in dating with, but they're not interested in you back, there's probably a reason for that, just because they were meant for somebody else or there's somebody better coming along. And that is something, and this is an important reminder too. If you don't get what you want, if you get passed over for a job or the house sale goes to another buyer, it's because there's something better that will be more suited to you coming behind it. So it is important to understand, and I think we should have an important counter here. I think I've said it like a million times already, but your manifestation could take a little bit longer than you want it to. I know some people put deadlines on their manifestation, but I mean, that's a tricky one. So then if that day passes, what do? Give up? Or are you going to keep on trying to manifest something? For me, I just say now. I have it written out in my manifestation diary. I say things out loud like that, and I use the words I am. And then I make my statement, and then I say now. Because there is only the present time in your life. You're not living yesterday, you're not living tomorrow, you're living right now. So with that being said, sometimes you're going to have to wait a little bit longer for what it is that you want to appear into your life. There's something for you to pull out of source, and it's really not up to us to know why that's happening. It just is. And that's another phrase you can tell yourself. It is because it is, so you don't get all freaked out about something. It'll just happen. And don't say next time, it will happen now. And just keep that faith and keep that litany going. And on that note, and I wrote important in my notes here, it is important to not lose faith or patience. Okay? So if you lose faith, you're losing faith in your ability to manifest something, and you are losing faith in the universe's ability to deliver your desired scenario to you. And losing patience, it just makes a difficult situation even more difficult, especially if you are looking for a job and you've been unemployed for a long time. And don't get desperate, you guys. Don't get desperate and lower your standards while you're single and waiting for somebody to come along. That's for any given situation. Sure, you saw the perfect house, but again, maybe somebody outbid you. Don't lose patience. Don't give up. That was somebody else's blessing, and your time is coming. So you have to keep on really reinforcing yourself with these positive statements Otherwise, you're just going to lose your mind, and that's never a pretty sight. This one is really, what word can I use instead of important? So focus on the goal and let the universe take care of how it is going to happen. Okay, so that's what I do with my life, whether it's working or not, I just think I make my statement and I use the words I am and I say now, and then I do not bullet point out a million things on how I'm going to get there. I just wait for the divine inspiration. And again, there's the point that I have here is to wait for signs that the universe is delivering your goal. And things will come across your timeline. Like if you're looking for that person or a job, you'll get a notification. You'll get some sort of signal that you're meant to, go apply for that. You'll be inspired, or somebody will send you a link to a job, or somebody will set you up on a date. Don't worry about it. The universe is going to figure out all the machinations, boy, that was tough to say, on how things are going to happen for you. I mean, you let the universe take care of everything else, food getting to the market, so that you can go shopping. You don't worry about what the farmer is doing. You don't have the farmer's checklist of what they're doing from dawn till dusk. You don't even give it a second thought unless you're a farmer, probably. You just don't think of how your clothes are being made before they show up at the store, and all you have to do is go try them on and see if you like them and then buy them. Don't worry about stuff like that. When you put an order in on Amazon, you get a tracking number, but how often do you check it? You just have the faith that, okay, I paid for it, it is being processed, and it's going to get shipped, and it's going to deliver, Maybe sometimes there's going to be a traffic delay or whatever, and you're like, okay, so it'll be here, and keep saying now. You guys have to trust yourself when it comes to manifesting, okay? You just have to have that trust, and sometimes it's going to be shaken. It's like, why is this not happening? Try not to get lost in that. I mean, everybody's going to have a bad mood or a bad moment. You might have a little freak out spell or whatever, but the biggest thing is to not unpack in your bad mood. Do not throw a tantrum. We're not 2-year-olds, we're adults, and we can assess the situation and step back. You should feel when there's any kind of anxiety going on in your life. Hold on. Had a barking neighbor dog, so nobody needs to listen to that. So, you have to trust the universe and yourself. You have to trust in your relationship with manifestation. And maybe that's something that you need to work on, and if you do lose faith and you lose trust and you lose patience, that can be your little self-improvement workshop. And these are triggers too for anything that has to be dealt with your shadow side, like any sort of negative emotions that come up in situations like this where you're required to have patience and faith. That's showing you where you need to heal a little bit. So take those as like signs that, okay, well, I can work on this, instead of really buying into it and like screaming and yelling and leaving a nasty Yelp review. Please don't do that. Okay, so remove negative thoughts related to outcomes. Okay, negative thoughts, it's almost like they're glorified, and you see it everywhere. So this is why I really like for people to shut off the news. Really try to stay away from any sort of negative programming, violent stuff. Like, try to keep it light and try not to catastrophize why things are taking so long. Oh, well, they haven't called me back yet, so they must have found somebody else to date. Like, that is speaking that into your existence. Your words have power. They'll get back to me, and if they don't, that's okay. There's someone better coming along for me. So find a really positive way to speak to yourself, because the conversations that you have with yourself are the conversations that you're having with the universe. the universe is always listening, okay? Every word, every thought is being transmitted out, and it's not just the words, it's the emotion that goes with it. So if you feel like you're reaching your boiling point because you think that you're unsuccessful, take a deep breath and work on the techniques that are going to keep you calm and keep you rational and in faith, and be patient and surrender the urge to control. There's a phrase that is said, go with the flow. Okay, you're meant to just run with the flow of the universe. You are not in control. Anybody that thinks they're in control of their life, they're in for a bit of an awakening. You can control certain factors of your life, but you cannot control outcomes. You cannot control, if you're going to get stuck in a traffic jam on your way to work. You can't control. There's so many scenarios, you guys, so you just have to stay in faith. And it's always good to speak to your higher self about things, and just ask for help. And this is what I do when I'm feeling really stressed out, or if I'm feeling anxious about an outcome and I'm starting to imagine all these different scenarios that could have possibly happened. I'm like, I really just call on my higher self and I say, I need you to take over my human vessel right now and lead me to the highest outcome of this situation. So you guys are always manifesting. Always. So if you're seeing a lot of negativity around you, that's a really big clue that it's time for you to really rein it in and get a control, because you can control your thoughts. Other people can control them if you allow them to, and that's usually when they push your emotional buttons, right? So there are things within your control, and that is your faith and your patience. And I'm sure I had another list, but it just evaporated from my brain. So anyway, that's a pretty typical conversation with me. So this is divine and perfect timing, okay? And when you're manifesting, you need patience and time. And these are the two biggest things that are going to play into how you manifest and when you manifest. Having that faith and understanding that the timing is up to the universe should really help you understand divine and perfect timing. And you can even use that phrase, or you can say, I'm in God's waiting room right now, and pretty soon I will be called upon. My manifestation will appear. All right, guys, I think I'm talked out. So sending love and light. Take care. Bye.